So I want to go ahead and make a video talking about my squats as of late and why I've really been pushing myself. Some might even say I've been milking it. And even though I do enjoy milking things, maxing 3 times within a 7-day period for one lift is probably not very advisable. The teat has ran dry, my friends, but I did want to give you some context because a couple people have asked why I'm doing this. So I want to tell you exactly what I've been thinking. So it all started last Monday when I decided to pull out of the USAPL meet that I've been prepping for the last several weeks. I decided to forego that last week of peaking and another week of deloading before the meet, only because I can't really bench or deadlift anyways, and I always feel good on Monday squatting. So I was like, you know what, now is as good as time as ever to squat, and I was right, because I was able to hit a new PR of 562 pounds, which is a 5-time lifetime PR, and for someone who doesn't have that much longer of a lifetime left, that's a big deal. Not to mention my training cycle had me only really projecting out to around 545 or maybe even 550. To hit 562 was huge for me. And the fact that I hit it pretty well and it encouraged me enough to try something heavier, something that I thought was 585 pounds, but as we all saw, was 606, and it definitely humbled me very quickly. I wasn't mad at that, and I was lucky enough to come back and hit 585, which again, very huge for me, especially considering it's a number I've been chasing for the last 2 years, and with some various injuries as well as time away from the gym for personal issues, I couldn't have asked for anything better. So I thought I was done, I thought I was satisfied, I thought I'd take a week off of deloading and then start back on a new training cycle, and that's how things started. So that following Wednesday, 2 days later, I did a deload squat session, a 3x3 with like 375 or so. Didn't even film it because it's a deload session and no one needs to see that. But I started looking at some of these clips as I was editing them to put them on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, and reading some of your comments being very encouraging, that I decided I should go ahead and try at least for 600 pounds. And that's exactly what I did that Friday. So 3rd squat session in 5 days and 2nd max session in 5 days, decided to try for 600. And it did not happen. And even though I kind of took some time to lay on the ground and reflect after the lift, I wasn't mad at all. In fact, I was probably more satisfied than I've ever been, only because it's been about 18 months since I last failed a squat. I've never failed a squat in a meet, so I feel like I've never really pushed my boundaries enough to know what my real squat limit is, and I was definitely satisfied with this attempt. And I thought that was good. But over the course of that last weekend, I started to think some more. Yeah, you know what? 600 isn't there just yet, but 585 was there, so maybe 590 was there. So on that Monday, I decided to max again, 3rd time in 7 days, as you guys all saw from that quick clip earlier this week, and I was able to hit 590. Now, of course, that might beg the question, why didn't you try 595? And although I'm pretty dumb, I'm not that dumb. I know when to say when, and I don't think I had 595 in me, and even if I did, it's not that big a deal to me because I know it's somewhere between 590 and 600 at that point, in which case for me, I am overly satisfied with that number, given the way that I look, which is like I don't even lift. The rest of the week has just been like a deload or some time away from the gym because I've needed it. Not to mention I had to take it because I've been in Boston all week for a work offsite and haven't had the chance to train. But while I've been away, I did order an Elite FTS safety squat yoke bar, which is something I've wanted for a long time. In fact, I've gone through the process of buying one several times, but right before I submit my order, I would cancel or get out of it just because I really couldn't convince myself that a specialty bar was worth about $400 or so, which is what this cost. But because I just did that sponsored video earlier in the week, I thought I'd just go ahead and use the proceeds from that to buy this bar. So in a way, you funded this for me. Thank you very much. I've wanted one for a very long time and I finally got to use it. I'll kind of hold off on judgment from it for a little while until I get more comfortable using it, can put it through its paces, at which point I'll give you a review as well as tell you about why I chose it for my training and why I chose it over, let's say, another brand or another type of specialty squat bar. I did also bench today for the first time in a month. I went very, very light and it felt very, very weird on my left shoulder. I'm hoping that's just some rust to work off and it's not a lingering issue that'll have to be addressed. Either way, I'll talk about it with my PT in the next week when I start my new training cycle. So thanks as always for watching, and in the meantime, stay big.